Hello, it's Preptober. I'm Liselle Sambury and welcome to the 7 Habits of a Previously Successful NaNo-er, which is essentially a long and I thought somewhat clever but actually not clever at all way of saying this is my Preptober video talking about some tips I have for things that have helped me win nano in the past that can hopefully help you. So last year, what year is it? 2020, of course it's 2020, the trash fire year. So in 2019, I did a Preptober video for this that I'll link over here where I talked about 5 things that helped me win NaNoWriMo. And so this video is gonna have new tips. So you can watch that video and you can get those tips, and then you can watch this and you can get some new tips. And this time there's 7 because I'm not trying to make my video shorter. I'm just giving it the time it needs. So yeah, if you're looking for help for things that can maybe help you win nano, that have helped me certainly win NaNoWriMo in the past, then that's what this video is all about. And let's get started. Tip number 1 or habit number 1, however you want to think about it. These are in no particular order. This is just kind of the first one I thought of. So it's not like this is the most important habit I've established that's helped me. It's just the first one I thought of. And that is to establish boundaries for writing time with your family and or partner or whomever it is that you live with. So I think this is important because I think it can be really easy for people to kind of just feel that writing is like a hobby like any other hobby. And during November with NaNoWriMo, you're serious about this. You've set a goal for yourself. You really want to reach that goal. It is very serious to you, and your family and your friends or whoever lives with you may not necessarily realize that, which means that you might be writing and they kind of knock on your door and they're like, why don't you go do this with me? Or you're writing and they're talking to you, or they're doing whatever, and they're essentially distracting you from getting your work done. So I think it's important to have a conversation with the people you live with to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing or I'm trying to do for November. And so if I'm writing and I tell you I'm writing, can you just kind of let me be in my space and do my thing? Please don't interrupt me. Please don't ask me to do stuff. Please don't talk to me. I just want to spend this time getting my writing done, and just being firm about that. And I think that's important too. And it also kind of, I think, gives those people an idea of what you're doing, so that you're not just going in your room and closing your door and they're like, why doesn't so-and-so pay attention to me anymore? You can kind of tell them what you have going on. And then it's also kind of good as in a way of having your own internal tracker, because they also know this is a goal you're trying to reach, and so you kind of also have that additional motivation. But that's something I say just to make sure that you are not going to have people trying to distract you while you are getting your stuff done. Habit number 2, establish a goal that you can actually do, not just one that you think is impressive or cool or whatever. And I know NaNoWriMo is you get the 50,000 words, but sometimes, and you will know yourself, some years it's just you might not be on board to get 50,000 words, but maybe you can get 25,000, or maybe your goal is just I write every day for that month, or whatever your goal is, and establishing that and just going for it. I think sometimes there can be goals that you might want to set that are just kind of so far beyond reach, it can be really depressing for the month. I remember I had my own thoughts where I was like, maybe I'll try and do a big project and I'll try and do 100,000 words in the month. And I'm just that's actually incredibly unrealistic, and it can be such an easy way to give up, even though it feels impressive to be yeah, 100,000 words. I tampered my goal down and I was let's do less than that so that I can actually accomplish something and not be trying to strive towards a goal that feels so impossible, when NaNoWriMo itself and writing a novel in a month is already difficult. So you don't need to make it even more difficult for yourself such that it's impossible. And I just find that having a realistic goal means that I will actually keep up with nano all the way throughout the month. But when I don't have a realistic goal or satisfying goal, I just find that I drop off really easily. So that's my second habit. the third habit that has helped me. And so this is, I think I actually did talk about this a little bit in the video, but it's still kind of different. So it's to set feasible daily goals and work it around your life. I have previously heard like the tip of like, set a set time to write during the day and always write during that time. And I think like that's cool if that works for you, but I just find that during NaNoWriMo, when you already have this like stringent word level goal, that assigning yourself even more restrictions just makes it that much more difficult. And so something that's really helped me is that I will just work things around my life. So I have a daily goal that I want to do, but if I know, not now because it's COVID, but like in previous years when I've done Nano, it's been like, oh, I want to like go out with my friends on this day. So then I would just be like, okay, so I'll do my writing like in the morning before I go and see my friends. Or I'd be like, you know what, I work this day and I don't have anything I'm doing with my friends in the evening. So I'd rather write in the evening because I don't want to wake up early. And just like moving those blocks around and being flexible with yourself. So still like sticking to your daily word count and making it really feasible for you, but also being flexible with how you schedule it. And that just depends on the person. For me, I just know that if I had set myself a specific hour and then I didn't hit it, I would just freak right out. I would freak out and I'd be like, you know what, whatever, I missed it, so I'm not going to do it today. And like when you miss a day in Nano, it piles up so quickly. And so I think just giving yourself that flexibility can be really helpful. Tip or habit number 4, and perhaps this will be controversial, but maybe not, don't be afraid to pivot or switch projects if you need to. So I say this because, oh my God, I like chewed right down my lip ring. Anyway, I say this because in the past when I've failed Nano, it's been a combination of factors, but another factor that stood out to me is that I lost passion for the project I was working on. And then I panicked because I was like, well, I just like, this is what I picked and I've already started. And so I just dropped off completely. And then I got no writing done. So it just didn't end up working, but there was a time in which I'd started working on a project and then I had an idea for a project that I was much more passionate about. And even though I was partway through the month, I just switched to it because I was so much more excited about it and so much more passionate about it. And I was like, okay, I probably can't hit my Nano goal anymore, though I did because I'm ridiculous. But I was like, I probably can't hit it anymore, but this is a project I'm more passionate about. And at least I'll get some words done on it versus just dropping a project and then being like, whatever, I guess I won't work on anything. And fun fact, that story that I switched to ended up being my debut, Blood Like Magic, coming out next year, summer 2021. So that's just kind of funny. But anyway, I just think it can help you so much more that if you know you're not really passionate about a project, once you start working on it, to just swap to a different one. And even if you don't hit your goals for NaNoWriMo, you'll at least get some writing done. But that's much better to me than like forcing yourself to do the thing you're not passionate about and like forcing yourself to just finish it because you've already committed to it, or just like dropping it and being like, well, I guess I won't do anything. So to me, like that's a habit that's definitely helped me, where in the past kind of veering away from that just didn't serve any purpose for me. So that's what I would say. Habit number 5, find a community to help support you through. This is a really, really helpful habit, not only because it provides you motivation, but you also get, oh, what's that word where like people, it's that word where like people are looking at you. So now you accountable. You're accountable. You're held accountable also towards your goals because you've shared with other people. There are bunches of ways to do this in NaNoWriMo. So the NaNoWriMo website itself, though I know some people don't like the website, but the website itself does have forums where you can chat with people. I imagine they're not doing it now during COVID, but last year they had like a live write-ins at different communities. So your NaNoWriMo chapter in your community hosted a live write-in, and I went to one of those with my friend, and that was so awesome. And I ended up getting so much writing that done that day, and like getting to chit chat with other people in Toronto that were writers that I hadn't met before as well. So that was super cool. And also like the YouTube community, like there's gonna be so many live streams happening where you can get sprinting done with other people, and you can chat with other people about your project and your progress, and you can get progress done. And to me, I just think that's so invaluable during NaNoWriMo. Like, I think that's such a huge part of what makes NaNoWriMo fun, is having that community to share in, and like all these people trying to reach the same sort of goal at the same time. And so definitely I would say a habit that has helped me a lot has been to have that community, for sure. And habit number 6, and I know this is probably not for everyone, but I would say it works for me, but it's to let go of perfection and details and strive for story. So this is the difference in what I'm saying. I'm not saying write whatever to get word count. I'm just saying to try not to get caught up in the minutia and details and having everything perfect, and focus more on what it is that you are trying to say with your story and the core of your story. I will say, disclaimer, I am a plotter, and so I have everything plotted out quite meticulously. That's what I'm going to be doing during Preptober. I'm going to have some plotting vlogs coming up later in the month. But so I meticulously plan out things before I get going, which really helps me, because then it's kind of like I can get down the words, and then not focusing on perfection is fine because I'm getting down all my core story points. But if you are like a pantser or a headlights writer, however you want to refer to it, I think this can still work for you, in that you are focusing on your story and the core of your story and the core of what you are trying to say with your characters. And I think when you're focusing on that, even when you are writing and you're trying to get those words down, you at least have the core intention of your story in mind. You're not just writing drivel for the sake of writing drivel. You are writing things that are actually connected to your story. And I think that's the difference between just saying like, just get whatever words down, because just get whatever words down, you could like have your character like, what could they do? They could like go to the convenience store and like pick up some milk, and then they could just like go home and like sit down, and then they like have a fight with a friend randomly. Like, that's the different than like when you have your story in mind. And so it's like, okay, they go to the convenience store. Why? Because of XXX reason within the story. And they go home and they have a fight with their friend because why? Because XXX story reason. So the difference between like just writing down words to write down words, and writing down words with a focus, and at least having that minimum singular focus, and that way you're still getting across what you want and what's important to your story without getting caught in details like what is the convenience store they go to and all of that. I know some people love to draft clean, and that's really important to them, so it's a different thing for them. They want to draft clean, and I think you'll probably have goals that reflect that. But I just think that's a habit that super helps me during NaNoWriMo, because if I focus on details, I'm not going to get any words down. Habit number 7 is to organize what you are going to do on a daily basis, however it is you organize that, but make sure you feel prepared. So however you are going to do it, whether you are a plotter or a planter or a pantser, however you are planning what you are going to write on a daily basis, do that. Whether that's you just thinking about it in your head for like a quick minute, whether that's you consulting your plotting, whether that's you doing a mix of like consulting your plotting and thinking what you're going to do whatever. But make sure that you feel prepared to write when you sit down to write. And so I think this is really important for 2 reasons. For one, so you know what the heck you're going to be writing, so that you're not just out in the air wasting time during your actual writing time. And for 2, so that you are in the mindset to write and to feel good about writing and to feel ready about writing. I find that when I don't feel prepared to write, I am just frantic, I waste time, I look off into the distance, and also I'm not in the right mindset, and so then I don't want to do it anymore because I don't feel prepared to do it. I don't feel ready to do it. And so my brain is already in the mindset of wanting to escape it and to not do it. And then suddenly the whole process becomes this like huge slog, which naturally will happen sometimes in writing. Not every writing session is going to be like hunky-dory, super happy. But I think in NaNoWriMo, especially like getting yourself into the mindset of like being ready and raring to go to write can be so helpful. And yeah, that's really what I have to say about that. I'm like, however you're gonna plan it out in your head, I would say to be prepared. I think in the past I'd be like, well, you should like plan out, but I know that not everybody plans out stuff. And quite honestly, there have been times where I've planned out all of my stuff, but I like look at the whole plan and I feel overwhelmed and I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and then I don't feel prepared. So it doesn't matter that I have a plan because I feel completely unprepared to actually write, so that it doesn't matter. And so to me, like that feeling of preparedness is more important. And that's just my personal opinion. This whole video is my personal opinion. So that's what I have to say for that 7th habit. And that's it for the 7 habits of a previously successful NaNo-er. This is actually the only tip video, or like official, I guess, tip video I'm going to be doing for Preptober. My other Preptober videos are going to be kind of like vlog process. So you're going to see my process of me like plotting, and you're going to see my process of me like doing world building in advance, plotting my world building for the first time. And so yeah, so this is kind of the only tip video, and the rest of them are going to be vlog style, follow along with me, this is my new process sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have your own habits that you think have helped you be successful during NaNoWriMo, comment with them. It'd be cool to see the different ones that people have, and maybe other people reading the comments can learn from those ones as well, and maybe I can learn from those ones. I do not know everything, so I always have room to learn new stuff and learn new processes for nano and writing in general. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. I post once a week every Tuesday. Sometimes I post other videos, and then I'll usually post on Friday those ones. So you'll see a couple extra ones pop up during Preptober and NaNoWriMo because these are special months. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!